Welcome back to the CTV News. As St. Lucia celebrates the 100th anniversary of the birth of Nobel laureate Sir William Arthur Lewis, the value of his work to the development of the Caribbean was recognized Thursday when featured speaker at the Sir Arthur Lewis Lecture zeroed in on the importance and relevance to the region today. Director General of the OACS, Dr. Didacus Jules, in his presentation, reminded the gathering of the passion of Sir Arthur for the forging of regional integration.
Lewis in 1935 in the British West Indies noted, and I quote, "The federation of these colonies has been urged since the last century, if only for reasons of economy. The necessity for it is obvious when we reflect that a population of under 2.5 million is required to support 7 independent governors with appropriate salaries and their administrations, each equipped with separate legislatures, judiciaries, and technical and administrative departments." Now that was 1935. You do the mathematics to 2014.
Dr. Jules pointed out that the region allows small differences that ought to bind, get in the way of truly enjoying the gains of integration. He believes that there is too much bureaucracy in the processes being undertaken now.
One of the mistakes made at the wider regional integration level has been to treat the process of integration as a bureaucratic, technical, diplomatic thing and not recognize the importance of its resonance on the ground. Let us not underestimate the fact that there is a substantial workload in this process that involves the harmonization of protocols, the convergence of initiatives, regulatory and legislative modifications, with an even weightier readjustment of mentalities to the new realities. But the simple fact is that if the people of the region are not able to see, touch, and experience the benefits of integration, then it would have lost its justification. I would like to emphasize also that the focus is on making life easier and better for all citizens of the OACS.
Perhaps best known for his writings on eradicating poverty, Sir Arthur's recommendations hold a solution today more than ever, and Dr. Jules said the OACS Commission is guided by the principles as it embarks on the single economic space.
He said, "We know pretty well, but not completely, what needs to be done to eliminate absolute poverty. The diet is a mixture of land, jobs, and social services. What lacks is the will of governments to proceed rather than a program. The trick here is to get more for the poor, but also more for capital formation, both at the expense of consumption by the non-poor. This is hard to do in practice because of the political power of the non-poor." Govan, in 2005, also emphasized that while so much has been made of Sir Arthur's economic prescriptions, all of his work was motivated by a concern for the human condition in developing countries. And Govan said that the thrust of Lewis's conclusions is that trade expansion is not an end in itself, but must be made to serve the ends of development, and that to do so, there must be strategic and targeted policy interventions to raise productivity in the case of one, to promote human development in the case of the other. So consistent with the aims of the revised Treaty of Bastille, we have identified 3 broad strategic priorities aimed at consolidating the single economic space across the OACS.
Director General of the OACS, Dr. Didacus Jules.